everybody and welcome to my video getting tidier. So I hope you're all well. This was yesterday where the sun started to shine and it's an absolutely beautiful day today as well. So I hope you all had a good Friday. Friday is my long day at work, so I had a number of meetings in the morning. My husband did the school run. We were going to have lunch together, but then when I came down for lunch, he was still on a call for work, so I decided to take a really short lunch because I've done quite a lot of my apprenticeship work and not so much work of my other job, so I just needed to catch up with some things anyway. So this was me just maintaining the kitchen. What pleases me is that because I've now created so much space in my cupboards, I can put things away much easier. So saucepans can go away, the plates can go away, the bowls can go away. Everything goes away fairly easily, apart from lunchboxes. The lunchbox cupboard is still a bit of a nightmare. So at some point in time, I just need to go through all of that and decide, what I'm going to keep, what I'm going to change, how I'm going to reorganise that, because that's all a bit of a squash. At the moment, I'm doing this voiceover whilst waiting for my daughter in her dance lesson. I just decided to stay today because she's still got a bit of a cough. So I thought I'm not going to leave her. I'm just going to stay by the dance school. So you can see I'm putting all the things away. I'm keeping on top of the kitchen. So there's a few things on the right there. Mostly they're bottles of wine that I need to decide what I'm doing with. There's a bottle of Lanson, which those of you that are from the United Kingdom, that's a decent bottle of champagne. Well, I say decent. I suppose it's worth about 30 or 40 pounds. We don't really drink much alcohol, but somebody got that from me a long time ago. So I feel like I want to drink it at some point, but I'm not really quite sure when, because like I said, we don't really drink that much alcohol, not really sort of white wine either. The other thing that I wanted to mention was that we've got our first follower from Sweden, which is like so exciting because I've never been to Sweden. Jenny mentioned she lives in a small town called Gångsö, which I looked up, and that looks lovely and green. So I thought, a lovely place to live in Sweden. And whilst I'm also talking about the sunshine, we must remember that lots of other people are experiencing lots of cold, wintry weather. Just because that's the time of year, or just spring hasn't sprung for them. I was messaging Andrea on here, who's been following me for quite a while, about the weather. She's had a foot of snow, and the snow is so bright white that when she opens the window, or the curtains, it's really bright that almost hurts her eyes. I also wanted to say thank you to Alison for her post. I talked my video, not yesterday, the day before, about doing things that I didn't want to do, and I just had this feeling of today has been a day of doing things that I don't want to do. So I think that was that Thursday? That must have been Thursday evening. So I ended up meeting the lady to do with my camp licence that I mentioned to you about. And I thought that was going to be an hour meeting, and then I'd be able to go home and spend time with my husband, because it feels like we've been like ships in the night the last few days. The meeting went on for 3 hours. There's so much for me to do. And I do want to do the camp licence, but I don't want to spend hours and hours and hours, and certainly not have a 3-hour meeting. And her post really made me think about doing things that you don't want to do. And as a result, the lady that I'm meeting, who's my mentor, she'd proposed meeting on Maundy Thursday or Good Friday. And I didn't want to, but I was starting to feel like I'd have to, because the week after we're in Holland and the week after she's on holiday. But I thought, no, I don't want to do this. It's all voluntary. I'm just going to say I'm not available. So thank you to Alison for making me think about that, because sometimes it is quite easy just to end up doing things that we don't really want to do. So in this next part of the video, you can see that I've been sorting out my washing. So I've put the washing into a pile. You'll be pleased to know that all the washing on my line that got soaking wet was lovely and dry, because we had the sunny weather with a bit of a breeze. So I put all the washing into a pile. There were a couple of bits that I needed to put on the radiator just to they were a little bit damp, like my bigger jumpers. So I put them all into a pile. They're ready to be taken upstairs by my daughter. Then there were some things on the floor that I thought, well, I'm going to put on the table. I'm going to sort all of the table out today, and then I'm going to decorate it for Easter. So later in the video, you'll see me get all the Easter things out of my cupboard. And I know some of you will pull your hair out because the cupboard is in such a state, in such a muddle. I was looking on the videos, those little lanterns. I've had them since 2002, and I really like them, but they don't have a home. I don't really want to put them outside because they'll rust, but I don't know really where I'd put them inside. Maybe I could put some more hooks up in my dining room and hang them up and put little tea lights in or something. That'd be quite pretty. So on the table, I've still got all the sewing things from when I did the outfit for World Book Day. See, there's a few plates and things that I need to tidy up. And then I just need to sweep up on the floor because that white fabric, that frayed, and honestly, the bits got everywhere. So I'm just going to sweep up and just kind of tidy up generally. Just wanted to also say thank you to my followers. I very much appreciate your lovely, kind comments. The time that people take to just write a comment on my post really means a lot to me. Telling me where they're from, or telling me about what they're doing today, tips and tricks in their home and cleaning and tidying. I very much appreciate all the ideas and thoughts, and when I ask for different ideas, all the different things that people post, it's really, really helpful. If you're watching this for the first or second time and you haven't subscribed, I would very much appreciate you subscribing. I think I'm on 1,884 subscribers, which I very much appreciate. And when I get to 2,000, I'm going to be sending 2 of my handmade cleaning cloths out to anywhere in the world. Haven't yet worked out how we'll sort out the address situation, because obviously you can't type your address on my post, so I'm not quite sure how that's going to work, but we can find a way. So I'll send that obviously free of charge, so I'll pay the postage this end, and those cloths can be used for all different types of cleaning, whatever you like. Clean the floor, clean your dishes, wipe the table, whatever you want to use it for. And then once you finish, you just put it in the washing machine and it comes out as good as new, and they last for years. The other thing that I wanted to show you, you'll see on this video now, is that chest of drawers. A few people said, what have you got in there? What is this? What is that chest of drawers? Has that got games? Has that got toys? What is in there? So the answer is lots of bits and pieces. So it's got clothes that I never ever go to, and I never wear, and I've forgotten about. It's got my little cat soap you saw there, and then my daughter spotted it and wanted to have a look. There's the electronic system for when my daughter had a little baby monitor. I found a drone in the drawer, which I took out of the drawer. There's some helium balloons in there. The only time really I go to this chest of drawers is to get my hairdryer. So I keep my hairdryer, always put my hairdryer away in that top left-hand drawer. I was quite pleased. There's a few things that I spotted in there for summer. A t-shirt that I used to wear a lot years ago, and I've just not got it out for, I don't know, maybe 8 years. I'm not sure I've ever worn it since I've had my daughter. Obviously, you stop wearing things after you just had a child for a variety of reasons. Like, I fed my daughter until she was nearly 2.5. So just some clothes you just stop wearing because they're just not convenient. And then I've just kind of never gone to the drawer and had to sort out. So I also found crochet materials, which I'd forgotten about. I bought them and then never really had a go. I was excited about getting them all and then never really did it. So my daughter saw them and she was quite excited. I also found a Planet of the Apes top. I love Planet of the Apes, so that made me laugh and made my daughter laugh. I've got loads of figures of Planet of the Apes and all sorts of bits and pieces in my loft in the cupboard. And I just found that t-shirt. I think it's too small for me, but my daughter can have it when she fits into it. If she goes to a 90s night, that'd be funny. So these drawers probably need a good sort out and need to be defined. What do I want those drawers for? Now, I have thought in the past about getting rid of this chest of drawers, and the reason I haven't is because it belonged to one of my old aunts that died probably when I was about 17. And this is the cupboard that I told you about. So in this cupboard, this is in the loft room, so the loft conversion. So in there are Easter decorations and Halloween decorations and a few Christmas decorations that have overspilled from the Christmas cupboard. So you can see there's quite a lot of Halloween there. Now what I should have done, when I put all the Halloween decorations back, I should have ordered them differently and pulled the Easter decorations out beforehand, because then I had to take all the Halloween decorations out before I could then get to the Easter things, which was a bit of a pain. There's also a bag of toys up there that my daughter didn't really want anymore, but I didn't want to get rid of, so I put a load of toys in there. It's like a snuggle bum. For those of you that grew up in the 1980s, you might know what a snuggle bum is. It's like a cute little toy that makes a little funny noise when you shake it. And I bought it probably when I was about 18 or 19, because I never had one of my own. I saw it in a charity shop and wanted it, and then my daughter had it. Caused a lot of noise where I'm standing. So I'm standing on a street which is like quite close to the city centre of a city that's quite close to us, if that makes sense. Yeah, sort of like, I'd say it's maybe the sort of the suburbs. So every so often you get some loud motorbike or car going past. So a lot of these bags are just full of kind of random things. So I saw one bag is filled with bits that I'd bought from Disneyland Paris, as well as Easter moulds, as well as some Christmas things. So they do need to be reordered. I can't use the plastic boxes, the plastic storage boxes, because the slope of the roof. So if I use, I have got some plastic boxes, but if I use all of those, I won't get everything back in, because the sort of the way that the roof is. So I need to think about the best storage solutions. If you've got any ideas, let me know. But these cupboards do go back quite deep. Initially, we weren't going to have them all boarded out, and I kind of put my foot down a little bit and was like, I really think we should get them all boarded out now, because they'll be fantastic for storage. So we've had the whole area boarded out. That does give us a lot of space. But of course, what do you do with storage space? You fill it, don't you? So my plan is for Easter, if I don't put the Easter decoration up, or it's fallen to pieces, or we don't like it, I'm going to give it away, or I'm going to put it in the bin, depending upon what it is. My daughter's made loads of things over the years, but what's happened with the Easter tree, you put the Easter tree up, and it's like so weighed down with all these random things, it kind of looks a little bit of a mess. So I'm going to be a little bit more selective on what goes on the Easter tree this year. So I'll still put her lovely handmade items, but maybe not all of them. We've also got a massive bag of soft toys. So lambs, chicks, rabbits, all that sort of thing. And I always get those out as well. And all of this video is now recorded today. So this morning we had breakfast in bed, which was very nice. We don't get up early on Saturday, so I always say to my daughter, if you wake up before 8 o'clock or around 8 o'clock, you can read, and then you can call up for us at 8:30. If you wake up at 7 o'clock, then you need to go back to sleep at a weekend. She did tell me that she did wake up at 7 o'clock this morning. She managed to go to bed, back to sleep for about another 50 minutes, so that's good. I'm pleased about that, because she does need her sleep at the weekends. Then we got up, got dressed, and I did some tidying in her bedroom, which you'll see in a bit. And whilst I was doing that, my daughter did her philosophy and religion homework. So her philosophy and religion homework was about Cain and Abel, and they had to create a trailer and a mini film. So she was recording that and creating that. She's done quite a good job of it. A great way to kind of make the story come alive. And I tidied up her bedroom. She's got friends coming round, so I said to her, look, we really need to do more in your bedroom. But I thought, while she's focused and she's getting her homework done, I was quite happy to do more work in her bedroom. And as you've just seen, I've got all the Easter things out of the cupboard ready to then decorate the table, which she's excited about. So we had an early lunch, and after lunch my daughter's got dancing, which is, like I said, where I am now. And while I'm at dancing, my husband's gone to get dinner for tonight for all of us, including my daughter's little friend from her old school. It's also a little bit of a surprise, and I'm sure that you were as well, that in the cupboard I found various Halloween sweets. What on earth did I put them in the cupboard? I mean, that must have been me. And then onto my daughter's bedroom. So you know that I sorted out some of the drawers and had a clear up yesterday. So what I didn't do is where the camera is, so just under the camera to my right, there's like loads of random things, which I will show you a video of at the moment. And I decided to follow that little tip where you put everything on a rug or everything on the bed. I don't like to put lots of things on her bed because of the dust. But I set the Dyson filter going, and then I put everything onto the rug. So you can see that video, it shows kind of the random bits and pieces that are all the way around the bedroom, including her costume that I made for World Book Day, which I'm going to hang up. So lots of bits and pieces there, so I'm going to put them all in one central area. The other day also I talked about my line manager and how with my hours I was forced to change my working pattern of my hours. And he said how part-time working doesn't work, having managers that work part-time is damaging to the team, and that we had to work a Monday, etc., etc. Emma made a couple of very kind and helpful comments. She talked about, the importance of saying no to some things, but also standing up to people at work. And you do have to do that. I insisted that there was no way that I was going to work Monday. At that point, my daughter still came home for lunch, so I was not prepared to. And the history of our job role, actually, when I went back from maternity leave, I was doing Thursday, Friday and Tuesday evening, and I was on a job share at that time, and she did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then at a later date she was allowed to drop the Monday. So that was the decision that was made. So you do have to stand up for things, and the fact that he's now going part-time and not working a Monday is absolutely outrageous. And thank you very much for your supportive comments. Pam also commented about that to say, can't believe how someone can get away with it, and a working mother who's part-time yet again is treated differently. It does seem to happen quite regularly, unfortunately. And the thing that I find is it's never direct discrimination. It's always the odd word, the odd comment, discussing management issues when you're not there, etc., etc. So it's often things you prove. So you can see this part of the video that I'm taking out all the things from underneath my daughter's mid-sleeper. I did at the time, when I got the mid-sleeper, I did look at the high sleeper, and I'm so thankful I didn't get that. How on earth you change the quilt, how on earth you read bedtime stories, how on earth you change the bed. Absolute nightmare. So what I was trying to do is look at her dressing up clothes that she's not worn for absolutely ages, and encouraging her to get rid of some. So there was a couple of dresses she wanted to keep, and there's one dress which is like a queen dress. It is really lovely, and each time I get it out I think, come on, she's going to be ready to get rid of this now. But she said, no, that's massive. That's got loads of space. And I said, look, it's age 5 to 6. And I showed a label on. It's supposed to go to your ankles. It now goes to just under her knee. She said, no, let me try it on. I'll show you how well it fits. So you'll see she goes out of the room, she puts the dress on, she comes back in, and I think probably the big mistake was she said, I'm going to go and show Daddy, and then I'm going to decide whether I'm going to get ready or not. I'm going to get rid of it. So she goes upstairs, because my husband was in our loft room, and I just heard him say, wow, you look beautiful, you look like a queen. So she came downstairs, she said, I'm keeping this dress. So I said, well, that is getting quite small, so maybe a little bit longer. Let's think about when you can wear it. Maybe you could wear it on holiday, because we're going to the Efteling theme park where there's fairies, elves and all that sort of thing. I said maybe you could take it there and you could wear it there with your fairy wings, and after that point let's make a decision as to whether it's time to get rid of it. So you'll see her at some point come in wearing it. You can see it goes to her knees. It's supposed to go all the way to the floor. I don't know how she's managing to squeeze into it. She can barely move her arms. She wants to keep it. Maybe it's going to be one of those dresses which I will end up putting in the loft and keeping, and when she's a lady or when she goes to university, I'll be filling up vans and vans and vans of all the things that she wanted to keep. I mean, some of the things, to be fair to her, she's happy to get rid of, but some of the things, they are things that I have got certain memories of. So the things that she wants to get rid of are often things that I don't want her to get rid of. Like she's got a My First teddy bear, a little teddy bear dressed as Father Christmas that my aunt's got her. My aunt passed away 2 years ago, so I don't want her to get rid of that. And she just looked at that and she went, oh yeah, that can go. So you can see the pile in the middle there gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then I really start going through all the pile and finding homes for everything. I've still got a small pile of things which I want her just to check whether she's happy for me to get rid of them, but I didn't want to interrupt her from doing her philosophy and religion homework. She was concentrating really hard on that, so I thought I'm going to leave it for a moment. She can continue her homework, and when she's finished I'll then ask her whether she's ready to then get rid of the items. So it's not a massive pile, but a decent sized pile of things that I felt like she could get rid of, and also some rubbish, which is good going. The yellow bag there is all full of things which I feel like are either not at home in her bedroom, or mostly things that I can put straight in the bin. So that's good news. So you can see just there she's passing me a bag of some of the crochet things. So all those things can just go in one bag, which has got all the knitting needles, crochet hooks, and then all the different types of wool. So we'll put all of that together. So I'm quite pleased with what I managed to do in her room. That wasn't a large amount of time, but managed to kind of go all the way through. Like I said, putting everything in one pile really, really helps. And then in a minute you'll see that I hoover around, and I also get the sort of warm cloth and just do the edges where the dust builds up. I don't think I will at some point change her carpet, because this carpet has been down since we moved into the house. But I don't think I'd ever get a cream carpet again. I think it's really, really hard. Like, the dust builds up and then you clean the dust, but you still get that mark around the edge. It's quite difficult to keep on top of and keep clear. Her drawers are still, that drawer at the top is still tidy and sorted with the filing method of clothes, and she seems to like that. I still need to sort out the middle drawer, which is full of socks and tights and underwear, and the bottom drawer it's just becoming like a junk drawer. My husband was looking for something the other day, I think it was one of the asthma inhalers, and he literally emptied the drawer on the floor, and we found about 10 inhalers. So definitely need to have a big sort out and just make sure that they're all in date. And then I did a fast forward on this video so you could see how much I went through and how much I sorted. It's like piles of so many different things. So some of the things went back into like the little knick-knack sort of baskets and so on, but other things just she's enjoyed, she's had fun with, it's just like ready to get rid of. And then some of the things I know she wants to keep, like some of the small cuddly toys, and they can just go straight into those rattan baskets that I've got at the other side of the bedroom. The rattan baskets make me laugh because they're all full of junk, all full of, random bits and pieces, but they all look nice and tidy because everything's hidden away. I did say before I've got another of those rattan baskets which I want to bring back, so if I can get rid of some more books I'll make one of the boxes. We'll then have space to go where the bookshelf is. So at the moment I've got like 4 shelves, so actually I can just put one of the baskets in one of those shelves. So that's what my plan is, but that's only when we get rid of more books. So I managed to completely clear the area, although you will see the pile gets bigger. I get it like almost cleared and the pile gets bigger as I put more things in the pile. But it definitely works well as opposed to just going round. If we dump everything in the area, everything else looks clear and you think, right, what am I going to do with these things? And most of them could go into those boxes, like I said. So I managed to hoover as well. You'll also see that I cleaned the grate. So a couple of you have asked me before about the fire in my daughter's room. So we've got 4 fireplaces. The 2 tiled ones, which I absolutely love, although one person said when we bought the house, are you getting rid of the fireplaces, which I couldn't quite believe because I love them. And then the 2 smaller fires. So the house was built in 1928, so what they would have done is they would have got hot coals from the downstairs fires and just put them into the smaller fires just to take the chill off the room before there was central heating. I was a bit surprised though because I found 2 sticks. Now we've had our chimneys capped because years ago we realised that, are they jackdaws? Yeah, jackdaws. They were filling the chimney up with twigs and building nests. And then obviously one of the young died and then that was loads of maggots. And we ended up all these flies coming down the chimney, which is a big shock. So we've had all the chimneys capped, which means you can still have a fire, but they're just the top is capped. Anyway, that nearly brings me to the end of my video. So thank you very, very much for all your support and your kindness and your likes. And thank you all of those of you that follow me.